Hi, it's Kim Reinecke again, and I suffer from essential tremors. Um, this is an update. I'm getting ready to head to my first of three movement disorder specialists. I saw my primary care yesterday for a new issue that has popped up, and it seems like something that's common among people who suffer from ET because we do slouch so much when we sit and we try to walk, especially if you have to have assistance with a walker or a cane. When I posted the photos of my new issue on the support groups on Facebook, a lot of people responded and stated that they had the same issue. No tests were done, especially since I'm going to Duke this actually tomorrow, and seeing a new movement disorder specialist there. Hopefully, they will start doing some testing other than from my head up, and they'll start doing testing from my head down, because I know that with ET or other movement disorders, it could be caused by tumors on the spine or something pressuring on the nerves on the spine. I have been suffering since August with lower back pain, which I've had prior years ago, back in 2010, 2011, where they had to give me an epidural and cortisone injection through the epidural in my L5S1 disc. So I don't know if this pain is from my disc or not, or if it could possibly be from the tremors. The pain is getting worse. I lose feeling in my leg. I get numbness, and it is now going down both the legs. I've been on oral steroids 4 or 5 times now since August, and I have had 4 steroid injections, not directly into my disc, but just intermuscular injections to treat the inflammation because I can't do PT right now with my tremors being so badly out of control and not having to be able to keep my balance. So, tomorrow is Duke Neurology. And hopefully they will do some testings, as I mentioned, down my spinal area, as my doctor, my primary care, said they will probably do. I'm going to show you my new friend. It's not a lipoma. It's directly swelling on top of my spinal cord or my spinal bone. I'm not sure if you can see the hump or not. I'm going to try to keep my back straight. But it feels the size of your hand if you cup it like this. And he said it is the curvature at the top of my spine, and then the inflammation is from the muscles, which do not hurt at all. None of that area hurts. If you push on the bone, it's a little tender, but that's it. So, after Duke on February 11th, I see another movement disorder specialist who I have heard great things about. She is in Wilmington, thank goodness. So she's closer than going to Duke. But I get to see her on the 11th. And then I head down with a dear friend of mine who has volunteered to drive me down to Jacksonville, Florida, to go to the Mayo Clinic. They finally called back after I had been emailing them for months. From what documents I have received from them, it looks like what they do is it will be a long evaluation and treatments or testings that they will do. So it states that I could be there for 5 to 7 working days. to make sure they find answers, which I am so very thankful for. After dealing with this for it will be a year on February 5th. And I keep getting worse. And all of the medications that they give you and all of the horrible side effects. The seizures, the cognitive dysfunctions, the debilitating manner that you're left in. It's just taking a toll. I feel like my whole year has been taken away from my life. And I don't know if anyone can help. That's the worst part. I still lose my temper very easily, which is not me. And that's another bad thing about this. But the wonderful thing that has come out of this is how many people have volunteered to help me if they could do things for me. Just tell me that they're there if I want to talk or cry. They're praying for me. And that really means so much. I'm lucky enough to have these people in my life. Okay, so that's pretty much the update so far. Still waiting for my disability to get approved. So that's another challenge that I have to take on. The attorneys asking for more information from my doctors and therapists, and so that has been sent to them, and hopefully by next month or at least March, I'll have that approved so that I can at least have a somewhat of an income and not have to worry about insurance either. So I still am trying hard, like so many of us are, to stay positive. I do really feel like I've hit the medical lottery jackpot with the Mayo Clinic. That really has been a game changer, and I know I'm going to get some answers from them. I've discontinued some medications that they gave me to treat my tremors that were giving me more side effects than helping. So now I am only on the beta blocker propanolol and Valium and CBD oil with THC in it from Charlotte's Web. Those are the only things that I'm currently using for my tremors. Now, unfortunately, my back pain, my lower back pain, and my legs, I'm on steroids again, which makes the tremors worse, and on muscle relaxers. So between the Valium and the muscle relaxers and the CBD oil, I've actually felt better than I've felt in a while. I still tremor, and my cognitive functions are still not great. I think they're getting worse. Finding my words when I try to type or text, that's gotten worse. I have the word in my head, but it doesn't come through my fingers when I'm typing like it used to. And I'm having more of a time doing that verbally as well. My weakness in my legs and hands mostly are still there. Most days it's better, than it used to be. My head has been affecting me more than anything, my head and my voice. But we've got to keep pushing on, and we need to find a cure and more treatments that are easier to access than they are now, because it's beyond ridiculous on what we have to do and where we have to travel to when we are in this condition, which is bad enough as it is. So, as I tell everyone, I am doing all of this for pure awareness for our disease, and it affects it worse if we have an underlying condition, which my doctor seems to think I have. And it can range from a genetic defect or an autoimmune disease, which a lot of ET sufferers have. And it makes it so hard to be treated as well, because one treatment may make the other condition worse. So we have to keep pushing for awareness of this disease. There's more of us that suffer from ET than even Parkinson's and MS combined. And nobody has any more answers for us. And that's not right. And for people to dismiss us just because our arms or hands shake or our heads shake, and they think it's not a big deal. They don't know. We need to let them know that that's not the only thing that essential tremors affects us. It affects every bit of our bodies. It affects the way our brains work. It affects your fingers, your toes, your internal body. It affects everything. So we need to be listened to. We need to tell people why we do tremor and what else it does to us, how it affects us, and how there's little to no treatment options out there for us. And this is not a disease that can be cured, and it can be slowly progressive or highly progressive. Like with mine, there's a lot of people that have been suffering since they were children. So it's been many years. I can't imagine how that would be, but it progressively gets worse for them, some at a slower pace than others. As I mentioned, mine seemed to have come out of nowhere and was overnight, although other symptoms we think had been occurring that led to this and led it to come to a head, and that's why the switch got flipped. But we still can't pinpoint that. And that's another thing that we need to get more people into researching this disease to find out if there are things that can lead up to this and how mine progressed. If there are other occurrences that can show a progression. I hear doctors on YouTube or on different videos that I've found. And these doctors are highly respected in their fields in movement disorders. Sometimes the way they talk, though, you just don't know. It gets confusing because you have one doctor saying one thing and another one saying the exact opposite, which has happened to me, and it's still happening. Even my neuropsychiatrist said that she has never seen anything progress like mine has, and how my body has reacted to the meds. So we just need more people to fight for us. the researchers, the doctors. And the only way to do that is to continue to spread our treatments, our symptoms we suffer from. We need to let people know how bad it really is. I'm not a negative person, but it's been a long road and a long fight. So it's got me beaten down a bit, but I'm still hanging in there. I hope you all are too. All of my ET family that suffers. And just remember, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't receive any type of compensation, nothing, to post these videos. This is for plain awareness, so that maybe one day I won't suffer anymore, and none of us will have to suffer. If you need to find more information about this disease, then please go to essentialtremor.org. It's www.essentialtremor.org. That's for the International Essential Tremor Foundation that gives great information. They raise money. They do research. They have lists for movement disorder specialists in several different states. So if you are looking for a movement disorder specialist, then you can probably find one on their list. So I will give you an update this weekend about how my visit with the new movement disorder specialist at Duke. His name is Burton Scott. So hopefully he won't give me the same song and dance the last doctor up there gave me, which was that it was all psychosomatic. That is a word that I absolutely despise. That is just an easy way to get out of having to probe to work to help anyone. So if you're gonna label someone with a psychosomatic disorder, you better be a neuropsychiatrist. And mine says mine is not psychosomatic. I've seen them. So they can't say this time that it's psychosomatic. And they are going to run tests. Because if they don't, they're going to see how the essential tremors have affected my emotions, because I can no longer control them. It's either pure anger or crying. And I'm not going to cry in front of those doctors anymore. They don't pay attention to that, but they sure will pay attention to my anger. I'm sorry. I'm just very frustrated, like I'm sure all of you are. Okay, I will give you an update this weekend, and I will be seeing the other movement disorder specialist on February 11th. So we'll see how that goes as well. And I will update you on that. And then while I'm at Mayo, I will keep you posted on all of that and how they proceed with my testing and on my prognosis. So, fingers crossed. And thank you all for following me and watching my videos. I hope they help you. It helps me to get it out. And I want it to make sure that everyone knows about this disease. So please share it. Please talk about it to anybody and everybody. We need as much support as we can get. So thank you again.